in this environment dominated by fear. First, you must stop blind acceptance of anything. Question everything you hear or read. Once you can do this with an open mind and make your own decisions based on your free will, which people in powerful positions are attempting to stifle, you will become a different person. You have been part of an experiment since the day you were born, an experiment of being controlled by fear. It's all you have ever known. So when you ask yourself if you are living a fear-based life, most of you will say the same thing. Of course not. That's how well you have been manipulated. As the controllers of this experiment continue to roll out their self-interest of control over humanity, you will have two choices. A, become a different person, the person you really are, as the grip of fear is released, layer by layer. Or B, comply and relinquish your free will. Okay, Ray. So we had comments tonight on this, Ray.
We have a lot of comments.
Yeah. So Ray's gonna get into that. Okay.
Everybody's watching. Hi, everybody. Got a lot of people on YouTube.
Okay,
a lot
good.
of people on your timeline.
Welcome.
Okay.
And we're looking for your questions or comments on this thing about it's fear that's putting you at the greatest risk.
Right.
But you may not know it.
All right. First comment came from Viola over in the Netherlands.
The Netherlands.
She's sleeping right now. Hopefully. It's 9 hours difference, I think.
Yeah.
Okay. Viola said, it is quite a lonely path to waking up and doing the research, especially at the beginning. People aren't used to that. Luckily, by carefully expressing some points of what I was finding out, I discovered that there are people around me who are going through the same process. Good. Some colleagues share the knowledge that we are being lied to. My oldest daughter, who's 15, says that not everything we hear is true. Speaking out loud about these matters is not done. There are lots and lots of people who believe that what the authorities are telling us is true. That makes me feel like we're in a war. It reminds me of some history here in Europe. The Second World War, the authorities made people who were of the Jewish religion wear a yellow star. When they wore this yellow star, they were denied access to a lot of things. I feel when listening to Linda and Ray and the guides that we are heading that way. What do the guides have to say about this?
Okay, now, okay, go ahead and read my comment on
Comment.
that.
Linda said,
yeah.
What you described, I felt like this ever since I got here. So many things that you can't talk about. Living in a family of so many secrets, a society so heavily programmed to be fear-based, like it was all normal, was what my guides showed me, and that I experienced daily right from the beginning of my life. Finally, many are catching up to me and ready to see through the lies designed to control everyone. We will run your concerns by the guides tonight.
Okay, let's do that right now. That was a very good question, Viola.
It was good.
And it's a question that most of you have. I mean, most of you are faced with this very same thing.
Hello. We come in truth and love. To us, they are the same thing. You are being lied to. You are being programmed about what to believe as soon as you got here. At first, it was your parents, then television, that tool that tells you a vision, but not your vision, someone else's vision of what you should believe. You were right about the Nazis making the Jews wear a yellow star, which kept them from gaining access to certain things. A similar situation is coming for you. If you refuse a forced vaccination, you will be denied access to many places and events. The only way you can prepare is to do your own research and get an advanced look at what's coming.
You know, you guys, I want you to keep a perspective on this. What's going on and what continues to get rolled out, what's going on. We signed up for this. We signed up to be a part of this time in history, okay? Any of you who are still here, of course you're still here or you wouldn't be hearing me right now. You signed up for it. So what you're going to find in the people who watch this, people who join me, are going to be the ones that don't go along with the agenda, that resist the program and the compliance. Okay, making you get a vaccination. And they talk about this vaccination like it's not going to be one vaccination. It's going to be a number of them, one after the other, after the other, after the other, after the other, after the other. It's signing up for a whole program is what it is. And so what's in those vaccinations? And who wins from that? Okay, and why would you need that? And what will it really do to you? You notice I didn't say it would do anything for you. I said to you, because that's what it's going to do. It's going to do it to you. You guys have to do your own research. And the more of the people who do their own research, the more people who see through this and go, no, the more likely it won't work. The more likely this whole thing, this whole agenda won't work. That's what you have to look at, what happened there.
Oh, everybody seems to be of the opinion that vaccinations are an assault upon our immune system. Mm-hmm. You know what I find interesting is that the people who are so adamant that everybody wears a mask, let's say adamant, they're so paranoid that they wear a mask everywhere because they don't want to get infected by this virus, will be the first ones to take the mask off and get in line to get the same poison, the same virus injected into their skin.
Well, that you don't know. You don't know until you do your research, right? That's Ray's opinion. That's what Ray is under the understanding that it would do to him. That likelihood that here's what happens. People don't know what to believe now. The biggest problem, the biggest risk is that fear. When you let fear run you, you assume things, all right? And then all of a sudden, it's all based in fear. So if you're trying to run from the fear by creating more fear, that is not the answer. That's not looking at the, that's not doing your research with an open mind. This insight, it's telling you to do your research, but not with a paranoid mind, not with a mind that's already made up. It's about doing your research and seeing it for what it is. Okay. Now, I want you to know as you do your research and you start to bump into these things, uh, you're probably going to get mad. You're probably not going to like what you're finding. You're probably going to want your heart is going to want to resist it. Oh, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to deal with it. I don't want that to be true. Don't tell me that's true. Oh, well, you've been lied to for so long. You start peeling the onion, the onion. You start peeling the onion and you start continue to peel it and take it off layer by layer and peel it. You get down deeper and deeper and deeper. And when you peel an onion, you know how it brings tears to your eyes? Very symbolic of what it feels like, the disappointment, the anger. They lied to me. What they lied to me. That's disappointing. So you have to get over that. There's a whole system for this where there's 5 steps to healing all this kind of stuff to come into reality, the truth about what it is. Go ahead, Ray.
Okay. We have somebody that knows a little bit more than I do about vaccinations here.
Good.
Vaccinations plus a mask are never smart because you have to trust your natural intelligence and create more health, not more injections of questionable ingredients. Because vaccinations are made partially from the virus itself, so you can build up antibodies to it. But what you don't know is what else are they putting in there. They're putting thimerosal and aluminum and adjuvants and who knows what.
Do your research. When you do your research, you'll see what's in it. Or you'll see what they're telling you is in it. Again, what do you believe? That's the whole point. And to let somebody drop that into your arm, shoot that into your veins. Wait a second. Whoa.
I mean, even if I was the type of person who believed in vaccinations, I certainly wouldn't be the first one in line. I want to see that they got the bugs worked out, like a new piece of software.
Let Mikey try it.
Yeah, let Mikey see if Mikey likes it first.
Will Mikey survive?
Will Mikey drop over? Okay. Want to hear the next comment?
Yes.
The next comment came from Rebecca Andrews. Oh my goodness.
And she commented on Viola, right?
Right.
Okay.
And she's from the Netherlands too. What is this, Netherlands comment day?
This is.
Okay. The Netherlands have won out here. Great insights, Linda. I couldn't agree more, especially about the reference to World War II and where things are going now. Also, so much of humanity tries to learn from the past, like learning about World War II in school and missing the true lessons in the details. Yes, we learned we should never let an atrocity like a Holocaust repeat itself, but we don't study so much about how it happened in the first place. And we don't ask critical questions like, how exactly did Hitler get so many Germans to comply with his radical ideas? What stopped those Germans from questioning authority and questioning what they were doing to them? Why were the Nazis so dedicated to his cause? How did this all start? When did it really start? It's in the details where the answers to those questions really keep us from repeating the history. And the details are where we can learn the lesson fully enough so we can identify it when it arises again and know immediately what is really going on and act accordingly.
Okay, let's let the guides comment on what Rebecca just said. Very well thought out. And how it speaks to the times that we're living in right now. That's the point to this. And here they go.
People all fall in line with a leader's ideas because of peer pressure. They don't want to seem to be the odd one out. All their lives, they've tried to be just like their friends, just like everyone else who they associate with. anyone who didn't think like their group did must be wrong. Well, when two groups have opposite opinions about a matter, one of them is mostly wrong and the other mostly right. It's hard for people, even when faced with overwhelming evidence to their beliefs, to change their beliefs.
That's been a problem throughout history. People don't like change. What else do we have, Ray?
We have comment Kathy from Florida.
Florida.
You got an American comment. I'm glad that Rebecca and Viola didn't write it in Dutch, because I have trouble reading Dutch.
You couldn't read Dutch? Come on,
They have
Ray.
words that are like that long. Dutch. Okay. Kathy says, what I fear the most is people not waking up to the truth and just continuing as they are because they can't handle the truth. That was a line from a famous movie. Once you do open your eyes, you wonder, how did I not see this before? Linda said, good point, Kathy. What you will see first when people can no longer not see what's really going on is a lot of anger.
That's right.
Anger over how they allowed themselves to be deceived their entire life.
That is going to be, that's going to be where are people going to be able to rise above and get over, come back, Ray, and get over this, rise to the occasion and get angry. Okay, it's going to be part of the deal. You're going to be angry. You've been deceived your whole life. You've been lied to. Are you going to be able, is humanity going to be able to face this that Kathy's talking about? Confront their anger. Yeah, I'm angry, and move through it so that we as a human race can rise above all this and push those few back that are trying to push this onto us. All right. Let's see what they have to say about this. Are we going to pull through this as a human race?
Yes, but not without a lot of strife and anger. People will be so angry when they find out the truth of what's really going on in the world and for how long it's been going on. People can't even imagine that they've been lied to their entire life along with their parents before them. It's a forerunner to denial. The anger will show up first, and then the denial of everything that's been said. It can't be that way. That was just a conspiracy theory spouted by a bunch of crazies. Well, most of the important truths in history all started with somebody everyone else called crazy.
That's right. Just because it's hard to believe doesn't mean it's not true.
I mean, this has happened forever.
It's gone on for eons.
You go back. Here's a conspiracy theory: Aristotle and Pythagoras. What'd they say? The world was a ball. It wasn't flat. Galileo said the same thing. They put him in prison for most of his life because he wouldn't renounce his heresy,
Right.
of saying the earth revolved, the sun revolves around the earth instead of the other way. That was the church. That was dogma.
Right.
I mean,
Right.
there's people who proved it long before them, and hundreds and hundreds of years before that. There was a guy, I can't remember his name now. He was a Greek mathematician who lived in Egypt, and he discovered the exact circumference of the Earth using his brain and a stick, watching the shadows,
That's right.
right to the decimal point, practically. All the things that only satellites can do now to measure stuff. He did it with a stick.
He low-teched the high-tech.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, forgot to patent it though.
That was before all that started, Ray.
Yeah,
So-
and he even explained how easy it was to do. On a certain day, solstice days, you put the stick in a certain spot and you watch where the shadow is, and then you have all your friends in different cities do the same thing, and then you measure the differences and multiply it out.
It's just too easy to believe. See, you
Right?
guys.
Crackpot.
That's-
Conspiracy theory.
That's before telephones.
Yeah, that was before smoke signals almost.
Nah, smoke signals, Ray. That's the good old-fashioned way to communicate. Just before telepathy, Okay, so do we have any questions, Ray? Any comments?
Nope, covered them all. Oh, here's one.
Okay.
When will the truth be revealed? Conspiracy theory. Nope. Conspiracy analyst. Even wolves know how to hunt in packs. Yeah, you have to have a group. The group pressure is what wins out. And so far, the group pressure has been to think like the television and the news tells you to think. Here's my thing. Why do all the news stations in the country and in the world report the same stories the same way?
Let me talk about
Okay.
read that back again.
Even the wolves know how to hunt in packs.
Okay, you know what makes the wolves superior to us in this way? They're hungry, and they're all hungry. Okay, people in this world aren't hungry. I don't mean there aren't people that are hungry, but I mean people. Let's say in America. Let's talk about our own turf here. People they have food. They can get food anywhere. You can get food. They've got food everywhere. You go to the food bank, there's food everywhere. All right. People aren't in enough pain. They're not hungry enough. They know, the wolf knows no one's going to feed that wolf. Okay. He either fend for yourself. Okay. That type of thing. They either fend for themselves, they do their hunting, they capture their prey and they eat, or they go
share.
Yeah, and or they go hungry. Okay, people in our world largely, they don't have that pressure on them, so they're just satisfied just enough to keep the pressure down, just enough. I've got enough money to pay my rent this month. Oh, I'm pretty comfortable like I am just for now. Okay. It's enough for right now. This is what got the Jews in trouble that stayed behind in Germany, that didn't leave when they saw it coming. A bunch of them saw it coming and they got out.
Right.
They left everything behind. They say they lost everything. No, they didn't lose everything. You can't lose everything. You just walk away from the hook that keeps you in jeopardy. Okay. So they got the heck out. The ones that didn't get out, they paid the consequences. So we're at a very similar time in history, you guys. You've been so comfortable and you've been fed fear from the second you got here. that you don't even notice it's fear. Oh, that's fear? Really? That's what fear looks like? Yeah, it's a process. It takes you through, it connect the dots. It keeps moving you through the process till you, just like the Jews, moving you through the line, getting you on the next train, moving you to the next destination, telling you what you want to hear. We're going to give you showers. Everything's okay. And they gassed him. Okay. So is it going to happen like that? No, it's not going to happen like that. Is something wrong? Yes, something's wrong. Yep, something's definitely wrong. And as far as sharing this and telling your friends about it, your family, and they think you're crazy, then they have the people who think who label you as crazy conspiracy theorist or whatever they want to call you. It's just a matter of time before they see it for themselves. They're going to be really mad. You're mad. You recognize what's going on. What you're more mad about is the laggers, the people in this world who aren't waking up, putting you at risk.
Mm-hmm.
Because if there's enough pull going that way, where the followers and the non-thinkers and the people who think it's good for them, they're looking out for me. If enough of the people think like that, then for those of us who are awake and alert and aware of what's going on, what's really going on, where they're trying to take you, then we're in we're in big trouble, you guys. I mean, where do you go? There is nowhere to go. So this is where the conflict is going to start. In fact, it's already starting. The social unrest, the chaos, it's already starting, but it's starting under a different pretense. It's starting under the old pretenses. It's not getting real with the situation yet. Not really.
There we go. JL says it's the bread and circus philosophy. Remember that? Give them bread and the games on the weekends, a little bit of wine sometimes. Keep them distracted enough not to pay attention to what's going on around them.
That's exactly that. And you know what? What's his name?
JL.
JL. What happened here, JL? When they knocked out, the coronavirus, that whole thing.
Yeah.
I don't know about all that, but they knocked out the sports. They knocked out, going out to eat, going to the spa, can't get a massage.
Can't go to the gym.
Can't go to the gym. Can't get your toenails done. All this kind of stuff, and all these ways that people have been spending their money, their time, their senseless, repetitive life. Just, can't wait for Friday, and all this kind of stuff. It really gave people how to describe this. It has given people time to sit back and look at this and look at themselves and go, this is the part of the plan where this agenda is trying to move us a certain way. This is the part of their plan that's flawed, because it's given us our time back. It's given us our time back without the distractions. Okay. So what are people doing? They're doing their research, looking on the internet. What the heck's going on? I didn't know that. I'm shocked at that. What's that all about?
Yeah, that video was there yesterday, but they took it down. Now I found it somewhere else.
And I heard about people saying this stuff happened, but now I'm seeing it,
Right.
So this has been a blessing in disguise. Okay, go ahead, Ray.
Okay, the bread and circus philosophy, right? It's even hard to get your loved ones on board.
I know.
It's too upsetting for them as of now. Well, think of how upsetting it's going to be if they don't get on board for them.
Well, what are you going to do? Your loved ones. Okay, what's going to happen when things get real and they insist on getting in this line? Let's get some vaccines, and you insist on getting in that line. Do you think you can cohabitate in that, or do you think there's going to be Pam? Do you think there's going to be conflict right inside your own home? Between the people that you've merged with, that you've made these promises with? How is that going to work out? Let's ask the guys. How is that going to work out? How could that possibly work out? Here they go. And then we're going to get back to your questions or comments.
Mm-hmm.
And here they go.
What's the question again?
Okay, you're living in the same house, Ray, with people that are not lined up with you.
Right. These are people who have been unconscious their entire lives and see nothing wrong with it.
But what's going to happen to these families that are then in conflict?
Somebody in the family is preparing for the worst, storing
Right.
things in their garage and basement, and hopefully the other family members will do this too. But if they're stubborn in their beliefs, you better have enough for them when it all falls apart.
So when it all falls apart and you don't have enough for everybody, okay, what happens?
Then you must not tell anyone you are prepared.
Here's what this is really saying is here you have these loved ones that become a ball and chain, a burden. Okay. And they're going to sit back. They're going to be like somebody who's standing in mud 3 feet deep, and you've got to pull them along. Can you do it? Do you want to do it? You have to really look at the whole thing, you guys. This thing gets exhausting. Okay, but you're better off looking at it now and having the whole full impact of that hit you now, and be prepared for what if, okay, so that you know how to handle the situation even when they're not going to. And they continue to say you're crazy, okay?
Okay, these are good comments here. Yep, yeah, it's hard to believe get the loved ones on board. Too upsetting for them. JL says, I've done enough my own safety preps, food, silver, cat food.
Kitty cat food.
You
can't live
we
without.
have a big storage of cat food. We don't even have a cat. But the neighbor's cat comes over twice a day, breakfast and lunch.
We like her, you know.
So
okay.
we even got a stash of cat food.
Yeah.
It's a scary time to be a parent, says Stacy E.T. And JL says you can buy off sale liquors, but you can't go to an in-person bar. They keep us separated and not to compare notes with our families and friends.
Right.
Stay at home. Don't talk to anybody. Wear that mask. Don't talk to you. Do you ever notice how everybody, even when I go out somewhere and have to wear a mask, nobody's talking to anybody.
Mm-mm.
And you can't tell if they're smiling or not. Their demeanor is very sour.
You guys, it's all part of the strategy.
Right. Target stores or big box mask wearing, isolation from your neighbor. Yeah, isolation. They want to isolate you. Social distancing, say 6 feet apart. Social distancing used to be called social isolation, and it was a torture technique invented by the CIA in the 60s, used on prisoners of war to keep you away from all your buddies who were captured. It drove people crazy.
You know, one thing I have to say that's to our advantage that hasn't been around in history, that makes it unique to us now, is that we have the internet. You guys, it's such an advantage. Okay, how can we use the internet to communicate, to investigate, to integrate? Okay, how can we use that? Because that's our biggest advantage. That's the one thing that whoever's setting all this up and doing all this, and yeah, there's people looking at you, spying on you, okay, but still the internet and social media and even email and stuff like that, and private groups and stuff like that. You don't have to go out. You can meet. In fact, the likelihood of you meeting people that are like you has been more enhanced because of the technology.
Right.
Zoom meetings, just like this. Okay.
Okay. So, Stacy E.T. says, what physical steps should one take to prepare? Stacy Bauer says, which conspiracy theory is the one to believe in? Well, most of them. Most of them, Stacy.
Well, wait a second. Let's see what's the guy. Who do you think you are? Are you a guide?
Well, I believe in most of them. I mean,
well, it's like saying which garbage information should we believe in? The conspiracy theories. They've made it sound like there's no good information out there, which is not true. I don't mean Stacy. I mean the concept of conspiracy theory. It's not conspiracy. It's theory. It's conspiracy fact. Okay. So how much of this is true? From what you have been able to glean from what we see on the internet guides, how much of it is actually conspiracy fact and not conspiracy theories?
Most of the conspiracy facts have been well researched. People studying through huge stacks of research to uncover and blow the whistle on individuals or governments or politicians or the movement of the moment. What happens when a conspiracy theory reaches enough people and becomes a fact is that the powerful people who take down all these conspiracy theories lose some of their power and influence. It's really a numbers game. There's less than 10,000 people, very powerful people, who rule the planet. That's a small group. The average person can have that many friends on social media. It's really about educating enough of the rest of the population until the scales tips.
Right. And those 10,000 people, no matter what they do, they can't push us around anymore. It's fear that's putting us at the greatest risk. Fear, being controlled by this, being dominated by this, believing in it without doing your research, without being informed. We have the internet, you guys. There's no reason for you not to know. And then when you know, then comes the big one, which is taking the action, coming out. Okay, not hiding anymore, not going, oh, I don't want to talk about it. Oh, I don't want anyone to know what I think. My family members, they might think I'm crazy. Let them think you're crazy. They're really the ones that are crazy if they believe all this. Okay, and if you come out and their friends come out and their coworkers come out and even their kids come out, the kids are really coming out, you guys. The young people are angry. They see the setup. You expect me, here, let me use myself. 10 years old, 12, 13, 14, 15, 17 years old. You expect me to make it in a world like this? It's more than just environmental stuff. This is on every front, okay? This couldn't be louder. Those kids see, kids are the biggest BS detectors there are. You guys know that. You remember that. Well, these kids don't stand a chance. And they know it. So these kids aren't going to put up with it, you guys. And so if they're not going to put up with it, and they're the ones that are going to be leading the world, in another 20 years from now, They're the ones that see through this. Get on the right side of this. Don't worry about the laggers. Okay, I call them the laggers. They're the laggers. Just don't worry about fitting in with them. They're dinosaurs. They're that's not going to work. It's moving on the side of the people who do the research, who are looking at this situation and going, there is no world for me, the kids. There's no world for me. You guys have ruined it. And we haven't ruined it, but those 10,000 people that we followed, they have ruined it. It's our job to step it up and not let this happen anymore. And who cares what they think about you? Ever since I was a kid, they all thought that about me because I wouldn't let them push me into stuff. It's all through my book, Guided, all right? And it's why I know this. It's how I learned this. And I grew up in a family that was so hostile. Every single family member worked against me. And I stuck it out because I had this connection to guidance. It wasn't hocus pocus. It wasn't new age. It was none of that. It was real. I wasn't raised with religion. I bumped into this, you guys, when my mother tried to kill me at 20 months old. And they showed up and rescued me. That's how I learned, how I bumped into this, all right? And I started seeing things for what they were. And people couldn't lie to me. I could sense their intention. Yeah, you guys know, if you listen, you can feel it. You can feel it. You can trust yourself. That's the only thing that you would be missing. Can I trust what I know?
That's good.
Do your research, and you will be able to do that. Go ahead, Ray.
Okay, we didn't answer Stacy. The other Stacy, we have Stacy E, Stacy B. Stacy Bauer wants to know, what conspiracy theories is the one to believe? The so-called conspiracy theories that come out just about every day are so many you can get confused. The ones you should believe without even having to do your own research are the ones that the backlash from the powers that be attack the most. Yet, when they try to debunk a conspiracy theory, they never address the theory itself. They attack the person who put it out.
That is the big red flag. Okay, that is the big red flag. And when they attack someone like that and they are sloppy with it like that, not well thought out. I mean, if they really want to be effective, no one would go about doing it like that. But that's what they tend to do. They are so threatened by humanity finding them out. That's why they act like that. That's why they're rash about how they respond, because they don't think it through and they feel so threatened. That person is right. That person that they're attacking, listen to that person. Or if they're tearing down all their videos, you guys need to watch those. You need to go back and try to find a version of it or find it on some other platform, find it somewhere else, because it will show up again. These people that are trying to inform us, they've given up everything. These people many times have lost their lives. They've lost the lives of their families. These are the early adopters that have been trying to wake up humanity for decades. We're past that now, you guys. If we gang up on these bullies, these are bullies, okay? And we push back the bully. I have a post that I did. It's called Expose the Bully. Okay, I grew up with bullies. My whole life as a child was filled with the bloody things. Okay. And I confronted them, and yeah, I got in fights, and yeah, sometimes I got beat up, and I didn't care. I'm not living in a world like that. That's what you have to get to the point. You will not live in a world like that. You will not let your children, your grandchildren, or anybody, that you care about be exposed to this. Someone has to stand up for it, for you, for humanity. These guys don't have to win at this. They don't have a grip on us, you guys, unless we let it happen. And like the wolves, what JL said about the wolves, the reason the wolves survive and thrive is because they're hungry. Okay, nobody's quite hungry enough, quite needy enough, quite scared, not quite enough, okay, to do something about it, to step up their game, to say no more. Okay, you need to not let yourself have to go primal and have to get hungry, have to get so desperate that only that, and then you step up. You don't wait that long. The time is now, you guys.
Yeah, you can't say, well, I'm not in enough pain yet to go do my own research.
I talked about this in Guided. Guided was published in 2014. I said this was coming. The guides told me, showed this to me. It was coming. And here we are.
Guided is a very prophetic book.
It's very prophetic. Yeah. And as we keep going through the times, I keep seeing more and more of what it's showing us in our times. Okay.
Well, what was the first thing?
The merry-go-round dream.
Merry-go-round. What did you guys tell you over and over and over again?
It's right in this insight tonight where they told me. In fact, the image for this insight is the page 3 of Guided, where they talked about one of the first things we showed Linda. This is the guides talking. As a baby was, and here, quote, "The biggest tragedy of your times is that most people will die having lived fear-based lives." Now, they told me this in the merry-go-round dream that I came in with, my first memory in this lifetime, the same dream I had for the first 35 years of my life. A dream that never changed. This kept blaring at me. There it is. And this is where we are now. Hello. This is it. It's showtime. Go ahead, Ray.
Let's see if there's anyone here. Okay. I miss smiles. Yeah, everybody wearing a mask.
I know.
I have a solution for that.
What is that, Ray?
Everybody gets a t-shirt, takes a picture of yourself, selfie of you smiling, get it put on the shirt, and then have an arrow that says, "Hi, it's me, Ray." Okay, so everybody's wearing a mask.
That's a good one. I like that one.
Yeah, I think I could sell a lot of those.
We need to come up, you guys, what we need to do is we need to come up with something that gets the attention of everybody, okay, that actually connects with them, that doesn't offend, that doesn't insult, but it strikes them, it wakes them.
You know what gets the attention of everybody? 250,000 bikers in Sturgis, South Dakota, not wearing masks. That got the attention of everybody.
That did.
Oh, look at that! Look at they're terrible. They're
but the way the news posed it is how awful they are.
Right.
Okay, so which one did you believe? Ask yourself, which one did you believe, you guys? If you just went all in with what the news was telling you to believe, tell a vision, them telling you their version of their vision, and you just accepting it, think about that. That's what that tell a vision was all about. Came out in the 50s, telling you what your vision should be.
Right.
That's when it started. It's called programming.
Why are children's first words Happy Meal? Programming. It starts when they're little.
It's ridiculous.
And
it works. It's a brilliant plan, but it's not so brilliant because it's just repeating history. It's been done for eons, you guys. They know how to work it. Okay, what?
Yeah, somebody said, JL said, the Sturgis Yuppers. Yeah, most of those people there are guys who trucked their motorcycles into about 20 miles outside of Sturgis and then rode them in like the Hell's Angel.
Like they were riding the whole time,
Sprinkle a little dirt on themselves right before they came into town.
Yeah, huh?
Yeah,
Okay.
I knew a lot of people like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Is it safe to put the kids in public schools?
Let's
Well,
let's we don't know, Ray, but the guides can see what we can't see. Here they go.
see if you can find any studies that proved a child in school caught the virus and killed grandpa.
You know what? You guys think about it like this. Every single year the kids go back to school, comes the runny noses and
Flu season.
flu. They even have a season for it.
Yeah.
They call it, that's another bunch of BS. Flu season, duck season, flu season.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're now, it's the Christmas season. It all goes together. It's almost like, yeah, we're gonna go see grandma and grandpa, and we're all gonna get sick because it's flu season. Okay. Have you ever wondered about that? Has that ever crossed your mind why that is?
Yeah, I know why. Every year about Thanksgiving starts about Thanksgiving and ends about
But why,
February.
Ray?
Why? Because everybody's getting together. They're eating too much. They're drinking too much.
The immune system's
They're
getting attacked.
compromised. Their immune system's getting compromised.
Their immune system.
They're traveling from where they live in warm weather to where grandma and grandpa or mom and dad live in the cold weather. And it's the shock to their system.
Again, it's an immune system issue.
Right.
Okay.
And everybody gets sick, but miraculously.
So okay. If people, let's talk about this. Does flu season need to exist? Not if the kids and everybody eats properly. Who eats properly? They eat fast food. They bring what's the statistic on the people who eat fast food?
It's like 71% of the population eat fast food at least, I think it was 3 times a week.
That is ridiculous. That is not good for your immune system. And then the food supply, even if you eat good food, organic food, you make your own food, it's fresh. Okay, you do your own cooking. Even if you do that, you're not getting the nutrition you used to get from the food. The soil is depleted. You're not going to get the nutrition. So guess what you need to do? You need to take supplements. And what has the FDA tried to do with the supplements? Over and over again.
Shut them down.
They've tried to shut them down. If you see that, it's because it works. It's because it's taking away from their agenda and siding with you. You're building it. You're building your case. You're getting stronger. You can't do that. That doesn't work for the 10,000, the agenda. That doesn't work. That works against them. That scares them, you guys.
That's why.
So it's your immune system. It's immune system is also your thinking. It's also how you think about things and how you let things affect you. Okay, instead of getting real with it. What do we have, Ray?
And how much rest you get?
How much rest? Critical. And exercise. What happened to schools? There's no more PE where they have gym class. Okay. The kids aren't getting any exercise. All they do is they're sitting in front of their phones. Go ahead, Ray.
Okay. Schools demand that kids get injected with tons of whatever prior to September. Shots have been documented as shedding germs from the activated germs. All the recent outbreaks of measles and whatever else broke out tend to be in fully vaxxed populations like the Navy ships. They're all vaccinated. They're going around to different countries, okay? Vaxxed in colleges, in high schools. And more people, I saw a study not too long ago that more people who got the flu shot last year during flu season died from it than people who didn't.
So what is her question there, Ray?
Just JL, just making a comment.
Yeah. And what's the point of translate?
All these people are getting vaccinated and dying anyhow, or how do you know that the things they're getting vaccinated with didn't cause the disease in the first place?
And you know what, you guys, taking out all of the confusion. Simplify. And when I say simplify, I mean it's not when you eat right, it does not cost more money.
No,
In fact,
you used to.
when you eat organic, it does not cost more money when you eat at home.
Right.
When you make your own food, okay? It does not cost more. It costs more money when you go out and buy junk food.
Oh yeah.
That costs way more money, and it tears down your immune system. You guys have to start getting strong. You have to start becoming alert. You have to get back into your life force. That's it. Get your life force back. Then you've got what it takes to say no more. No, you can't vaccinate the hell out of my kids. No, I'm not getting in that line where everybody is in the compliance line. I'm not going to do it. I'm over here. I can take care of myself and the people that are part of my tribe. We all take care of each other. We are like-minded. We don't resist each other. We don't put stress on each other. We don't make it hard. Get in this line, everything's hard. Everything's scary. Everything's fearful. Fear is the common denominator. But I want to say this about fear before we get to the close on this. Fear is something that people have been born and bred with. It's such a natural response to be living a life of fear that you don't even know that you're doing it. So what do you pass off to your kids and grandkids? You don't know you're doing it. It's a matter of being conscious or not. Okay? So it's about getting back to consciousness. It's about getting back to healthiness. It's about getting back to being with the right people. I got to tell you, if you're with the wrong people, you guys, this is going to be so hard for you. They're going to constantly be trying to pull you into this line while you're going, I'm over here. I'm not going over there. I can't go over there. I'm going to stay over here. But you'll be all by yourself. It doesn't work like that. You've got to be with like-minded people. And I know that's hard. I have spent my whole life, my book Guided talks about it, my whole life resisting those people, going, no, they all hate me. They all think, here's what they think. They think I have no value. That's how they judge me. They go, oh, no, you don't deserve anything, Linda. You have no value. Everyone knows it. And, that's the way the family thinks. Well, I haven't seen that family in over 30 years now. I removed myself from that. That wasn't only bad for me, that was dangerous. And that's what I'm telling you. This is not just bad for you. This is harmful to be around those kind of people. So I know what it takes to get away from it. I know what it's like to move away from all of that. Not one family member am I around. Not one. I can't be. They're toxic. They are determined to be right at any cost. And I would just be the target. I was always that target, but I was never accepting of it. So off I went, and I went off my own way and found my own way. And all of you, if you're living with people who don't support who you are, who don't respect you and value you, you're with the wrong people. That will not work. That's going to be the first thing that has to go. Okay.
But they're family.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the big excuse.
And here's this thing about family is everything. It's only everything if you guys align, and if you're on this, if you're really in a mindset that's the same.
If you're a pack of wolves that goes hunting together.
Right. That's right. But hopefully it's not that primal. It's not that basic. It's just because I need to eat and survive. You guys, we're humans. We're way past just surviving, aren't we? Yeah. Okay. What else do we have, Ray? And you guys have been great tonight.
Your family's best chosen as you go through life. Yep. JL. Yes.
That's right.
Congratulations on your freedom choices, Miss Linda from JL. Somebody calls you Miss Linda. Miss Linda. That's it. Let's see if we have any here. Oh, you have to go with your gut. That's what they said over there.
Go with your gut. Trust your gut.
Go with your gut.
But get your tribe right. You guys have to be with your tribe. I mean, the tribe, the wolves, they're with their tribe.
The pack.
But we're humans, you guys. This is much more, conscious than a wolf. Okay.
Wolves are pretty smart, though.
No, I love the wolves. I understand that. Okay, what I'm going to do is we're going to close the session with the guide's closing message about tonight's insight. It's fear that's putting you at the greatest risk now. All right. Okay, join me August 18th. I will be streaming live on my Facebook page, my Facebook timeline, and my YouTube channel. Use the search term Linda Deer. This will be a Q&A and commentary for next Tuesday's Insight, published in Linda's Weekly Guided Insights. If you're not getting these, sign up. Go to my website. You'll see the insights all over the place. Linda's Weekly Guided Insights, they're free. Sign up for them. The tagline for the insights is navigating you through the uncertain times that you are now living in. And they're channeled from our guides, all right? Okay, so this, the insight for Tuesday will be published with me, Ray, and my spirit guides at 6 p.m. Pacific time. In Linda's Weekly Guided Insights, my spirit guides will be talking about breaking up with the old you. The old you is unconscious. Activating the real you will happen by being authentic. Being authentic begins by trusting what your heart is telling you and then acting on it. This is the conscious you, the real you who first came here, who believes in you. This is not a new you. This is the real you that you will remember as the old unconscious you loses its grip on you. That's going to be a great session. Start getting Linda's Weekly Guided Insights delivered to your email box every Tuesday. Sign up, it's free. Look for the link in the description of this video. Training with Linda, one-on-one training with Linda Deer and her guided journal writing system. Look for the link in the description of this video. Check it out, you guys. It's really good. It'll get your life turned around. Get the replay of our webinar from July 25th, entitled A Message from the Light Beings, Preparing You for Your New Experiences, with Linda Deer, Ray Holly, and the Light Beings. The Light Beings describe what it will be like when you are released into this newly reopened world. Look for the link to this webinar in the description of this video. This Saturday, August 15th at 1 p.m., I will be reading chapter 16 of Guided. So check it out, you guys. I'll be live on Facebook, YouTube, and at 1 p.m. Pacific time. So we're going to get to the closing message from the guides, but I want to say this one last thing. If my work has helped you in any way, share this video. Tell your friends and family about it. Instead of you having to do all the heavy lifting to get them to move their minds in, open their minds, let me do the work, okay? Just go ahead and tell them about these videos and let that start to penetrate their heads and their minds and their thinking. Tell them about my these Tuesday night events we do. Reading from my books on Saturday. Learning to channel using Ask the Universal Channel. We have a Facebook group just for this. It's private, where you can learn to do this. And we have teachers that we've taught, Ray and I have taught for over the years, that are masters at teaching you this. And they do it from the love of their heart. And our monthly webinars happen the last Saturday of each month, along with my one-on-one coaching and training. You guys have it all when you find us, all right? Okay, so we're going to close the session with our closing message. You guys were fantastic.
They were.
Love your interaction. Let's keep this thing going. Keep coming back on Tuesdays. Let's get that message out. Let's be a powerhouse to move through this and get people to wake up, okay? All right. Their closing message: it's fear that's putting you at the greatest risk now.
The question is, how do you know that you are living a fear-based life?
Right.
1, you fail to do your own research on anything. You approach life with blind acceptance of what you're told.
That's number 2.
You follow the crowd.
That's number 3.
All your friends think exactly like you do, and nobody has a dissenting opinion.
That's number 4.
You seem to be painfully comfortable with your past.
That's number 5.
Your present life feels shaky at best.
That's number 6.
Do you think that your future looks frightening?
That's number 7.
Go out and do your research now.
And there you have it.
Great session.
Great session, you guys. This is all about being real, okay? And I want you guys to think about the kids. I really mean that. I'm seeing more videos come out. 9-year-olds. They are, I don't know how to, I'm gonna have to show you one I just saw today. These kids are sick of it. There's no future for them in this world that we find ourselves in. You guys, 2020 is perfect vision. Okay, it is perfect vision.
JL said he told his dentist girl yesterday about your book and amazing information, and he was listening to your audiobook while he was getting his dental exam. She was very interested in your work.
Oh, that's good. Share this work because this will take a load off you. They'll watch the video and go, well, so-and-so told me, what's his name?
JL.
JL told me about this woman, about her book, about these guides and stuff. And you know what? She sounds pretty grounded. My work is known as, there was a psychologist in California that's done 2 interviews with me. It's approaching me to do the 3rd one.
She's had a radio show for like 20 years.
Yeah. On the Couch with Dr. Michelle is the name of her program, the name of her radio show. And what she calls my work is a mix of spirituality and unexpected psychology. It's bringing the 2 worlds together, you guys. That's what I'm famous for. The world we're in now and the world you came from. You just didn't find yourself here. You did come from somewhere, okay? And it's the same place you go back to when you're released from this world. So there's nothing to worry about.
This is like a pit stop.
Nobody,
in between.
Nobody can hurt you.
Right.
No one has fear controlling you, okay? All right? Because this is not all there is. So don't let them think they're trying to make you feel like this is it. This is all there is. This is not all there is. Pretty far from it. All right. You guys, we'll see you next week. We'll see you this Saturday.
All right.
All right. Good night.
Night, everybody. Be kind to each other.